Who are you? Do you really know yourself? What's good, Kwizzy fam? Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another video. We're still continuing with our self-growth series. So today we'll be talking about self-awareness. But to all my South African viewers, happy good day of goodwill. The day of goodwill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we celebrate on the 26th of December, the day of goodwill. So happy day of goodwill to you guys. I hope you guys are having a lovely day, and the rest of the other viewers. But yeah, before we get into this video, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on your post notifications so you get notified each time I post a new video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So self-awareness is basically about knowing yourself. So being able to know, like, who are you as a person, like who are you really, like not like who you think you are, like who are you really, like how people perceive you, how, like, everything, like this includes your personality, your behaviors, your strengths, your weaknesses, your beliefs, your morals, your values, your, you name it, everything all together, put all together, like knowing that they exist, the pros and the cons, all of that is called, when you know all of that, that's called being self-aware. So the more you know about yourself, the more self-aware you are. And why is this important? It's because if you know yourself, you will know how to improve yourself. If you know yourself, you know what to work on, like how best to work on them for you to be where you want to be. Which takes me to 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 16 tells us that we need to keep a close eye on ourselves and how we behave, because this has directly impacts like beneficially, like this positively impacts you as well as those around you. Another thing to know is that there are three types of people when it comes to self-awareness. There is those who don't know themselves and they know they don't know themselves. There are those who think they know themselves. And then there are those who actually know themselves. Like sometimes you get to a point where you think you know yourself, but you're lying to yourself. Because there's a saying that my history teacher used to tell us, whereas how does it go again? He who knows not that he knows not is a fool. He who knows that he knows not is a wise man. Follow him. So basically what he was trying to say is, it's best, like, even if you don't know something, but knowing that you do not know that something is always better than thinking you know something when actually you don't really know it. So yeah, so that's why I feel like we need to focus on those that think they know themselves but do not. Because this is another thing that we found. This is by one of the research done by Tasha Urick. So she did some research on those people who think they know themselves. And these people who think they know themselves have been doing introspection and self-reflections and all of that put there, but somehow they're still the most depressed people compared to those who haven't been doing self-introspections and reflections. Cool. And what she found was that when they were doing introspection wrong. Like self-awareness has got to do with a lot of introspection, and we're not saying that you need to stop self-reflecting or stop introspecting. I'm not sure if I'm phrasing that correctly, but yeah, we're not saying that you need to stop that. We just say that the process that a lot of people are using is the wrong method. So instead of like focusing on like if something happens and you want to understand why you reacted some way, sometimes things are just like inaccessible to us, like things that are subconscious, like they're embedded under our conscious to the point that we just cannot access them. And because we cannot access them, our brains and we try to focus on getting it out, our brains come up with alternative like reasons as to why this happened or why that happened, and those more often than not are usually like the incorrect conception of why you actually did that. And because of that, like after a while you think that you've understood yourself and how you reacted because of your assumption, and then a few months down the line or even years down the line you find that you're depressed again because of the same thing, and it like confuses you again. Good thing to fix the way that people reflect is to change the questions why to what. So that was the key that she pointed out, as in, instead of asking why did I cry yesterday, like what made me cry, or rather like I don't know how else can I phrase it. I'm gonna write them down here because I can't think right now. My brain is sucking, is doing things. But anyways, hopping on to how we can improve our self-awareness. So there is like 5 steps. I was trying to keep it step 1. I think you guys can guess this one. So basically you're gonna start looking at yourself objectively. What do I mean by that? You need to self-reflect. Yeah, you guessed it. You need to introspect. You need to be able to look at yourself, like sit down and just think about you as a person. Like, what is it that upsets you? What is it that makes you happy? Like, just write down and write everything about yourself, like everything, and be open-minded about it. Do not lie to yourself. Like, nah, I think I'm this. Like, if you think it, then it probably isn't fact. Write down the things that you know. Step number 2, you want to keep a journal. Like, keep a journal of everything that you do throughout the day, like especially if something that really affected you emotionally, try and write that down so that you can keep track of the things that upset you. You can kind of like see a pattern, like okay, these type of things trigger this type of emotion, these types of things trigger this type of reaction. And yeah, so by keeping a journal you can keep track of that, and it's always good to keep a journal. There's a lot of benefits to keeping a journal. Just do it. I mean, I advise it, like I strongly advise it. It doesn't have to be a daily journal if you like not a person who writes on a daily or a regular basis. You can even do it like on a weekly basis, but do not do it like longer than a week, because in psychology we were taught that more like our brains after like a while, like it takes away, like it does do like this recycling of things whereby it deletes some of the stuff. Like you're not going to remember everything the way it happened, but some of it like that is like supposedly irrelevant for your brain is deleted. Like your everyday things that you do, like they get deleted from your brain at some point. And I think there's a word for it, but I can't remember. If I do remember it, I'm going to put it down here somewhere. But yeah, so do not take too long to write in your journal, otherwise you will not be able to remember enough. Like maybe you might only be able to remember like the big things, and sometimes the small things do add up and are significant enough for you to note down. Cool. The third point is meditation. Like, okay, I know a lot of people do not meditate, but meditation isn't that deep, guys. It's not that deep. It's just basically spending some time out of the world, like just being with yourself, being with your inner self. You don't have to sit in the state. No, sometimes meditating, like for me, my meditation was through reading. Like I could meditate while reading, as in like I'd be reading, yes, but at the same time I'm like my thought is not there, like I'm looking at myself. Other people meditate while washing the dishes because that soothes them, it calms them, it's stress relief of them. Others meditate while listening to music, like just doing something relaxing, like for a few minutes, like without any external distractions, like just being in a moment with yourself is a good idea. Okay, so when you are meditating, questions like what are you trying to achieve, like why weren't you able to achieve, say, A? Like what was stopping you, what's holding you back? Like questions like what can you really do to improve, and like those types of questions like just pop up like while you're just sitting there. Like, have you guys ever like laid in bed and like you're doing nothing, just lying in bed, and these thoughts just start popping up, like you're thinking about life, and yeah, you need to be in that zone like for a good, I don't know, 30 minutes, but start with 5 minutes, okay? So start with 5 minutes and build your way up. Like just sacrifice 5 minutes out of your day just to meditate and be with yourself, and build that up over time. Like if you get used to 5 minutes, add 1 minute if you can. If you can add 5 minutes every now and again. And so step number 4, you need to take personality test or psycho. I cannot say that word, so I'm gonna write it down. You need to take those kind of tests so that you know what type of person you are. Like I know a lot of people like avoid these tests because they feel like a computer shouldn't tell you what you are or whom you are, but I feel like you guys are misunderstanding the whole concept of personality test, because it's not there to tell you who you are. It's basically there to tell you what type of person you are in relation to the rest of the world. Like, so those should kind of give you an idea of how you interact with other people, give you like a more, instead of having this vague idea of whom you are, you have it narrowed down, like you are within this category, and then you can like narrow it down. You can only narrow it down personally, like you yourself will be able to narrow it down to individualize yourself, because there's some people within that category with you, but narrowing it down, so it just makes it more, I don't know, more exclusive, more like you have less like some sort of limit, instead of just having just broad thing whereby you could be this and be that and be no. So it just narrows it down for you to make it easier for you to like know who you are and be able to understand yourself a bit better. So try and take those tests. And lastly, I need you guys to be open-minded about this one. Like, ask for feedback. Ask for feedback from your friends, your family, especially like the people you are always around like, on a regular basis. And when you ask them for feedback, like tell them, make them feel comfortable to open up to you, to be like just inform them that you really want to know the truth, and they should feel free to let you know, even if they think that's gonna hurt you or whatever, because at the end of the day you're trying to improve yourself, you're trying to become better at it, and if you do not know what your flaws are, how are you able to work on them? So just be open and make them feel safe to open up to you. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, or at least found it helpful. So that was our second episode of the self-growth series. Until next time, y'all. No, if you did enjoy it, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to comment and share. Until next time, y'all. Bye.